I played a lot of games at WASD London 2024, which if you've not heard of it, it's a 3-day long gaming event that comes to London around twice a year and showcases a wide range of games from indie developers, talks and presentations from gaming industry veterans, and more than a few exclusive hands-on playtests with games before they hit the mainstream. This is my list of the top 10 games that I recommend you check out from WASD 2024, and to kick things off, we're taking a look at Odin Fall. Odin Fall is a Viking-themed roguelike twin-stick shooter featuring procedurally generated levels, RPG elements for upgrading your character, and weapon modifiers to keep things spicy. You have multiple characters to choose from, and whilst I was at the event, online co-op had just been announced with a fresh build to test it available on the show floor. So myself and a complete stranger managed to be among the first players to try Odin Fall with co-op, and it was literally a blast. The environments are destructible, the weapons are insane, and the bullet hell meets Metal Slug co-op experience comes together to create a satisfying twin-stick shooter that I expect will suck hours away when you're playing solo, and even longer when you factor in the roguelike elements of improving your character and of course the co-op replayability. Odin Fall will be releasing into early access once it's ready for public release, so if you're interested then add it to your Steam wishlist, join the official Discord to stay up to date, and you can sign up for the alpha access via links that will be in the description. But next up, we're taking a turn toward the dark as we check out Harvest Hunt.
The plague came quickly. The rot and fear bloomed. Pestilence claimed the land, the crops, the animals. Our thriving community withered. Death came. And so we ran, seeking refuge in the forsaken lands of Lunar Nova. I have protected our village from the creatures that would devour us. But my time as the warden must end. You have been chosen. Reap the harvest. End the hunt.
Harvest Hunt is a roguelike survival horror that pits you, the warden of your village, against a nightmarish creature as you both hunt one another each night. The game is played in first-person view as you attempt to gather the harvest and keep your village alive, whilst avoiding the creature as best you can until you have either prepared enough traps, gathered weapons, or mustered the courage to face it. Your chances of survival depend on your hunting skills, but also the roguelike elements of boons or ailments that come in the form of cards before each night's harvest. And personally for me, the amount of bravery that you're going to be able to muster is entirely dependent on if you can keep your calm amongst not only a scary yet brilliant art style, but also the incredible sound design of every element of the game. Running over planks of wood too loud, rustling the leaves as you move through the fields, these sounds and more can draw the attention of the creature that stalks the village. I had a great talk with one of the Harvest Hunt team members about the fascinating European folklore that is throughout the game, the great balance between hunting or being hunted, and once again, the stellar sound design. There is an abundance of passion and skill present in the game design and of course in its presentation that I think survival horror fans will adore when the game releases in full on the 22nd of May. Add it to your wishlist on Steam, check out their website and join the official Discord via the links below as you prepare for the harvest. Now we move from one dark setting to another, but this time with a lot more power on our side. This is Jotunnslayer Hordes of Hell. Hordes of Hell is a thrilling roguelike horde survivor game set in a dark Viking underworld. You're going to fight waves of enemies and earn divine blessings of the ancient Norse gods, explore hostile realms, summon powerful bosses, and prove your worth in epic battles. When I first walked past the Hordes of Hell booth and I saw a glimpse of the gameplay, the art style, and the UI, I was immediately hyped, thinking it was another ARPG for me to grind. But when I sat down to play the game, I quickly realized that it actually has more in common with Vampire Survivors. Now there are several classes and modes planned for release, but for my playtest only, the Viking-style Barbarian melee class was available, which suited me just fine. The controls are intuitive, and the random abilities abilities or bonuses that you're going to acquire as you level up will be quick to understand for Vampire Survivors veterans and equally as easy to grasp for newcomers to the survival style games. An interesting control option is also available in Hordes of Hell. You by default have all of your attacks and abilities laid out in an ARPG fashion. So for the demo I was using a controller and it reminded me of Diablo 4 on console. But the interesting option here was that you can switch between action mode or an auto attack mode. And as the name suggests, an auto attack mode will have you casting your attacks and your abilities either as often as possible, or if you would prefer, only when enemies are in range. This effectively allows you to choose between a true Vampire Survivors style gameplay approach where auto attacks are always firing, or you can have a more active and intentional approach that feels more in line with ARPGs. My gut feeling tells me that the control options, paired with some of the build potentials from items, classes, and the buffs that you collect as you play through levels and level up, will result in satisfying runs that can be more or less intense and hectic depending on how you want to approach things. In my opinion, that level of flexibility and accessibility is well worth your time, let alone the well-executed grim art style, the addictive gameplay loop, and interesting approach to the survivor genre. Wishlist on Steam or join the official Discord via the links below in time for release later this year. And the talent of this dev team, by the way, is something else because they are also behind the next game. This is Die by the Blade. Vanquish your foes with a single strike in a 1v1 weapon-based fighter, Die by the Blade. Dive into a samurai punk world and wield a range of traditional Japanese weapons to determine your moveset, outwit your opponents in intense tactical battles, and master the art of the one-hit kill. Something you've probably noticed thus far in my video is my lack of captured footage from my time at WASD. This is kind of due to the nature of the setup and the logistics, so I just thought it was best to rely on gameplay footage from devs for the sake of quality. But in this instance, the trailer that I just showed you falls short of showing you exactly how good the gameplay is, and also some of the core mechanics that you need to get a visual on to understand what Die by the Blade is really like. Now don't get me wrong, the trailer is all in engine and it's an accurate representation of the quality of the game, but it has the game's UI hidden. So to help illustrate what I'm talking about, I'm going to show footage that is about a year old from Fail Quest's YouTube channel, link in the description. Now in this build, it looks like the UI in the footage is a placeholder and it just shows off two elements that I really want to talk about. The first is lives, which is those little circle dots that you can see there. And lives might sound a bit strange, but it does make sense considering that everything in the game is a one-hit kill. And after being killed, you're going to lose a life, and the player who runs out of lives first will lose the match. So similar to the way that Smash works, the number of lives that you have will therefore determine the length of the matches. But the thing that I want to talk about the most is the stances that are indicated by the directional arrows each player has on their character. Your stance will dictate not just the direction of your attack, but the direction that you will auto-block. This is separate from your ability to parry a blow with proper timing, meaning that a fight can often, and does often, turn into a mind game of reading your opponent, knowing that they're reading you, you're expecting them to counter a fake that you might do based on that, so it could then suddenly be a super double triple fake based on auto blocks that then could be parried, dodge rolled, sidestepped, or completely shut down by a faster attack combo. So yeah, there is a lot of depth here, and honestly, as someone who enjoys fighting games casually, I'm very impressed with how easy and satisfying this auto block mechanic works with everything else in the game. It eases you into a pretty high stakes scenario. Let's be real, everything is a one-hit kill, and that could easily get pretty frustrating quickly. But you've got a chance if you play the reading game, and then you go with the flow of the combat, you start seeing an opening, you go for it, and from there your confidence will grow, your skills will grow, and suddenly arms, legs, and heads, they've been chopped off left, right, and center. And I haven't even really touched on combos, character builds, or weapon customization, as sadly, my short time with the game and my extremely casual experience with the genre wouldn't do it justice. But from the graphics, the samurai punk art style, the brutal dismemberment, and the online or couch co-op, I think it's safe to say that if you're a fan of fighting games, especially For Honor or Bushido Blade, this is one you do not want to miss. Add to your Steam wishlist and join the official Discord in time for its full release on the 16th of May. Next up is a true gem that I discovered in the previous Steam Next Fest. I am really looking forward to this one. This is Conscript. You play as a lone French soldier in the First World War, and you must navigate twisted trenches, scavenge for limited supplies, and solve complex puzzles, all whilst fighting for survival in the midst of mankind's most brutal and horrific conflict in an attempt to find your brother who is missing in action. Conscript is a new take on the classic survival horror that guides you through the trench warfare in a refreshing style that does quite a lot of callbacks to the PS1 era survival horrors such as Resident Evil or Silent Hill. The art style is gritty and manages to still be beautiful in spite of sticking to a colour palette that is quite reflective of what you would expect in a World War I style trench. The tense music and visceral sound effects lend weight and danger to moments of combat, whether that will be swinging a shovel to fend off attackers or firing your single shot rifle at close range hoping you hit your mark. And the moment-to-moment gameplay, it flows from the tension of combat to the calm before the storm as you will scavenge for supplies, you're going to solve puzzles, and then you'll prepare for the next inevitable fight for your life. There are also some very nuanced and beautiful moments as you search for your brother, which I will not spoil, but I strongly urge you to try out the demo, which is available right now via Steam or GOG. Add this to your wishlist, check out their website, and join the official Discord, as Conscript is truly something special. Now we're going to take a shift from a serious approach to combat to one that is a little more lighthearted. This is Angerfoot. Okay, so far in the script, I've been using snippets of the descriptions from each game's official pages and then blending in my own thoughts and experiences. But for Angerfoot, I'm gonna read their descriptions to you pretty much word for word, because as crazy as the description is gonna sound, it is exactly what it feels like to play Angerfoot. And if you don't believe me, it's cool, there's also a demo for this one too. Turn up the volume and find out for yourself. Angerfoot is a lightning-fast, hard bass blast of kicking doors and kicking ass. Crash through the caffeine-fueled fever dream of Shit City, putting the boot to the menacing menagerie of merciless gangsters. Unleash the world's deadliest feat on a colourful cast of anthropomorphic enemies, clearing out slums, sewers, and skyscrapers as you grab new weapons, unlock new sneakers, and upgrade your powers in an absurd and wonderful ways. Kick and shoot your way to the exit as you leave behind a smouldering trail of shattered doors, broken bones, and crumpled energy drinks. There's fast-paced ass-kicking action, Shit City is a disease and your foot is the cure. Lace up a capacious collection of formidable footwear to fight through a diverse series of deranged city districts. Vibrant visuals, relentless beats. Enjoy a concussive, bass-bumping soundtrack as you stampede through a feverish criminal underworld. An assault on all of your senses, including common sense. Run, kick, repeat. Are you the god of style, speed, or power? Discover secrets and unlocks that encourage replayability and learn to tackle levels in new, creative, ridiculous, and devastating ways. And master the foot. Become one with the toes and be quick on the trigger. Your skills must surpass human comprehension if you are to prevail and learn the secrets of the Angerfoot. And that's literally it. Like I said, it really is an accurate description. You've just got to play Angerfoot to really get the feel for the vibe that they're going for here. It's something else. I guess like the quick and dirty way for me to kind of get the feeling of the gameplay across to you is to imagine something like Super Hot versus Metal Hellsinger. I know it sounds crazy, but it's so damn fun. Please try the demo via Steam and add it to your wishlist. Links in the description. And now, keeping up with the fast-paced, high-energy vibes, this is Lunar Abyss.
You must be very excited. Only those who bear those beautiful red eyes are chosen. We see you. Let us light your path.
Lunar Abyss is a single-player, story-driven action-adventure with fluid platforming and bullet hell combat. Follow the journey of Forks, a prisoner of Luna caught between a cryptic prophecy and their prison sentence. So the first time that I laid eyes on Lunar Abyss when I was at WASD, I knew that I had to wait my turn and give it a try. 30 minutes later, I was being treated to stunning visuals, satisfying bullet hell gunplay, and a story that starts to creep into your mind, inviting you to dig further into the game, which of course is by design. The Abyss calls out to you, messages and imagery overtake your screen and your character as you blast your way through enemies and you traverse the dark, grim and beautiful environment. I had a lot of the same feelings as playing this when I was playing through Returnal. It gave me a little bit of Ghost Runner energy as well, maybe a sprinkle of Doom too. Though I suspect of all of those, the story and the exploration elements of Lunar Abyss will have way more in common with Returnal than anything else. So if you're a fan of that, I think you can expect great things from Lunar Abyss. Download the demo via Steam now, add to your wishlist, and join the Discord to prepare to unlock the mysteries of the Abyss. Okay, we're just going to try and switch things up for a moment here because there's been a lot of darker game settings that I've just gone through, and after this one, the last two, they resumed that darker trend. And so I'd like to take a moment to shine a light on a much more light-hearted and super chill game that I came across in my time at WASD. Squarelets is a relaxing, free-to-play puzzle game that, seriously, the relaxing bit, I cannot even begin to explain properly. It is simple and quick to understand, but it gently builds in difficulty to provide a real challenge if that is what you're after. For me though, I think the real magic is just the simple and clean UI, the lovely use of pastel colors and the approachable, satisfying gameplay. Squarelets is a free game and it's available on iOS right now with plans for Android sometime soon. Download links are in the description. And now it is time for those final two, so let's get back to the dark settings with The Deadly Path.
First, I need meat to feed my servants. And for meat, I need some space. So I make some space to build a slaughterhouse, and now I need more servants to staff it, so I build myself a barracks with which to train servants. And I train some skeletons with which I can staff my slaughterhouse. But now I need more skeletons, and I need bones for those skeletons, so I build myself a scavenger hut and staff it with my servants. So now I have enough bones, but my servants, they have no place to live. So I build myself some houses to make room for the skeletons, and oh shit, is that an entrance? Okay, I guess I'll build a dungeon here to defend against those raiders, and I'll have to train some zombies, those are way stronger. So I get myself some marrow, and I get myself some gold, and I staff both with all the creatures I made before, and I have to feed all of them too. I need to make some more houses to make space for them as well, make sure everyone has a place to live. Oh, they're already fighting. That looks kind of close. So, alright, so let's go up in age. Okay, so it looks like they barely made it. Okay, now I can build a stronger barracks at least. Like, make some rats or something. Just in time as well. There's another entrance. Now I guess I'll have to expand to get some more resources and space to build my slaughterhouses to feed everyone and... No... Fuck.
Aid the deities of dread in their quest for vengeance and pave their way for their ascension. Gather grim materials, construct defenses, and expand the underworld to appease the rage of the gods in The Deadly Path, a unique building management and roguelike strategy game. The Deadly Path felt like I was playing a modern day Dungeon Keeper, but if it was like remixed with a tabletop simulator game, and by the gods does it work so well. Gameplay will start off slow because you're going to need to learn the ropes, just like with all management and simulation style games, but once you've understood the win conditions and the base mechanics for your god, how to build reinforcements, how to defend from annoying adventurers entering your domain, and also the 4 resources that you need to manage, things can quickly build to become a little more hectic. As a relative noob in the management sim genre, I have to say I think I might have got the bug from it from playing just a little bit of The Deadly Path. I played the tutorial and I lost. The dev team were nice enough to console me with the knowledge that only 2 people had actually managed to survive the tutorial that far. And so after a few hours had passed and maybe a few beers later as well, I just had to get back and give the game another shot. This is the type of game that you can sit down for a session, have a good time, win or lose, and then call it a day, but you know you're always going to come back for more. Something I think the trailer also gets across really well is that the gameplay loop is addictive as it is hectic. Especially when you get complacent thinking you know what's what, you increase the turn speed of the game and then suddenly you're under attack without enough supplies to survive and it's all so hectic. The Deadly Path is absolutely one to watch for roguelike and management fans. Wishlist on Steam and join the Discord for more info. And now we've come to my last game on the list. If you're a fan of Resident Evil, if you're a fan of co-op survival horror, and if you think Streets of Rogue 2 is going to be a banger, well, check this out.
This is Team Alpha from Sector 9. We found something. You better see this.
Whisper Mountain Outbreak is an isometric co-op PvE multiplayer survival horror game where you and your friends must work together to escape the cursed fog that has covered Mount Bissick, explore abandoned buildings, fight monsters, scavenge resources, craft items, solve puzzles, and find out a way to escape the Whispering Madness. I managed to survive around 16 minutes solo on my first attempt with nothing but a pistol. The dev told me that I was playing on hard mode that way, but I kinda decided to just full send it anyway, thinking it would only add to the survival horror experience. I then thought it was only fair for me to warn the dev that I'm not one of those stoic type dudes. I like playing horror games, but if I'm scared, I'm gonna shit myself out loud. And boy did I regret going for the pistol only attempt. Everything started off fine, but once the zombies trigger a horde attack and the scary music kicks in, I just can't keep it together. And I knew in that moment that I would love this game and it would be so much fun playing co-op. You can communicate using a chat wheel, you can revive down teammates, and you all share resources that you scavenge. The puzzle elements of the game are incredibly well done callbacks to survival horror classics, and as you solve more puzzles, you're going to learn more about the horrifying truth of what's happening. And as I'm sure you've noticed, the game also takes an isometric approach which further adds to the tension of combat, the dynamics of surviving a horde attack, and the exploration of each level when you're scouring around for resources or clues on how to solve the puzzle. And then there's the pixel art style, which might trick you into a false sense of security that the game isn't going to be that scary, but with the incredible sound design, the thrilling music, and the ambient zombie sounds, you'll quickly discover that the game takes its atmospheric tension seriously. If you're a fan of the survival horror genre, you're looking for a solid solo or co-op experience and an exceptionally well done callback to the PS1 and PS2 era classics, Whisper Mountain Outbreak has got you covered. Check out the demo via Steam and add it to your wishlist. You can also join their Discord for more information, links down below. And with that, we come to the end of my top 10 games for WASD 2024. There were so many incredible games to play, but I only had so much time available to me, and I wish that I could have gotten my hands on more of them. Perhaps next time I'll take more time off work so that I can fit everything in. A big thank you to WASD 2024 for my creator pass, and a big thank you to you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and you found something new to look forward to. Check out all these demos, like and subscribe for more, and I will see you next time.